And all the intakes every year is in the hospital now. They only take 10 nurses to the community and somebody 10 or 15, but the rest in the hospital. And they still couldn't address the shortage in there.
Do you know how many?
Last year was 51 new graduates.
Wow. And that still wasn't enough?
Wasn't enough.
Wow.
So 7 came to us, the community, and 10 went to Savai.
Yep.
And the rest stayed in the hospital.
Yep.
In the main.
So do you come under public health and community? Where do you
Primary
sit?
healthcare.
Primary healthcare. And so where do you actually sit in your job?
In the antenatal clinic.
Okay. In the hospital?
In the community.
In the community.
But we're based in the other part of the hospital.
In the old part?
Or the old part.
Okay. So how does the system work now for a health workforce? Is it still divided then with the community and the hospital? It's not one workforce, there's 2 separate workforces?
There's 3 separate workforces now.
Okay, so what's the third one?
The Savai group.
Okay, so they have a separate one?
They have a separate one.
Wow, that's new. That never used to be the case.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's separate. Savai, primary health care, and the clinical.
Okay.
Titimo.
Yeah, Titimo has been there. So when Savai organises health workforce, do they still go through the Public Service Commission, or has that all been disbanded and the hospital can just employ?
It's all under the hospital, the NHS.
I thought that had been all changed quite a few years ago now.
It's all under the hospital. But we all, in terms of professional development, we all go under the nursing and midwifery as a whole.
From the ministry?
Sisa, where Sisa is the manager for the nursing and midwifery in the National Hospital. And then we divide into three nursing groups. So
Sessa's still above the 3 nursing groups. So Sessa's heads up, and then she has Savai, community, and the hospital.
And the hospital.
Okay, that's quite useful. So Sessa's still quite powerful then.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. But then, you're right, it's sort of confusing where the ministry now has a role.
The change now, it's really confusing for us too.
Yeah.
Because now we report to 2 managers.
Yep.
The manager of nursing and midwifery and the manager of primary health care.
Yep.
And same as the clinical services, they report to the manager of clinical services and Matasisa.
Yeah.
And that's like Savai too, the manager of Savai services.
Yeah.
And Matasisa.
Yeah. And who would you think would oversee the whole of the health workforce issues, Sessa or the individual clinical managers?
Sessa, I think.
Sessa, yeah. So she'd be looking at where to place everyone and what shortages there are everywhere? Yeah, that would be her role.
That's her role.
Okay.
The recruitment is her role, professional development is her.
And professional development.
Yeah.
And what about when new graduates come through? Are they still doing the new graduate programme for a year through the ministry?
Through the ministry, yeah.
So when they graduate, they still do the year ministry 1 year? Okay. Yeah. And what about NUS? How strong does that feel? Because that's looking at like amalgamating with the medical school now that you have a medical school.
I think there's still... I don't know what's going on with there's a lot of students now. Okay. I mean the orientation program now, I think it's 70 something.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah, and the bachelor students, year 3, that are now doing their clinical attachments as well. There's almost 70, I think.
Wow.
But we've just been told last week by Leviti that as of this year or second semester, the ministry is only sponsoring 30 students. Because at the moment, they're sponsoring everyone during the foundation year.
Yeah.
But she told us last year, as of second semester, I think the ministry will only sponsor 30 students. And I think that's gonna bring the number of intakes down again.
So
Probably
she
by-
means that she'll only sponsor 30 students to NUS,
to anyways.
and then if anybody else wants to do it, they'll have to pay personally.
Yeah, self-funded.
Okay.
But then I think it should be okay. I think the shortage should be okay after this
Next couple of rounds.
Yeah.
And what about percentage of men to women? Has that increased? Are there more men than women now? Not more men than women, but has it gone from 10% to a higher number?
Male nurses.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's gone to a higher number now.
Yeah.
There's more now.
Yeah. Can you a rough idea? 30% male or?
Maybe 30, close to 30%.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought that was happening. I could feel it. I could see it happening. And I mean, there's been especially in Samoa and across the Pacific, there's a big unemployment of youth. So nursing seen as a sort of quite a good profession these days. That's quite a good profession. Okay. Wow.
So we're hoping with this orientation program, the next intake, we're hoping we get more staff for the primary health care.
Yeah.
Because now the focus is to feel the need, to cater the need in the hospital.
Yep.
But the primary health care is, we still need more
Struggling.
staff.
What about midwives? Are you still struggling with midwives numbers?
It's still a big shortage in the community with midwives. There's a lot now in the maternity ward in the hospital.
Yep.
But in the community. And now it seems there was an issue last week too with a student midwife who was sent from Malamanu Hospital.
Okay.
And she was told to withdraw from the course last week.
Okay.
And the council asked her to withdraw.
Okay.
So she's back in Malamanu now. But they only brought her in to take the course because there's only one midwife in Malamanu.
Okay.
But the council said she's not to take the course because she's only been there for a year. She's only a new grad.
So she's not done her 5 years.
5 years. So now, Cessa, we had a talk with Cessa last week, and she said she's trying to get the NHS to sponsor her to take it because it's a need.
Yes.
Only one midwife.
Yeah, it's tricky, isn't it?
Yeah. So in the antenatal clinic too, there's only one midwife.
Yep.
And we see almost 100 pregnant mothers
Wow.
a day.
A day?
Yeah.
Wow.
There's only one full-time midwife and the other 3 are part-timers. They're retirees. And they're asked to come back. There's Sarah, Tapai, and Sael.
Right, as well.
Yeah.
Wow. You come and say
So
hello.
We're all there again.
Goodbye. Oh my goodness.
And Sarah's there too.
I haven't seen Sarah for years.
And Sael, the other mentor,
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
in the MOH.
Yeah.
So we're all there now.
That was,
We're together again.
well, that's nice at
Yeah,
least.
it's nice.
Yeah. And so with your 100 women a day antenatal, are you getting your four pre-antenatal visits? Is everyone adhering to that, the sort of WHO standard?
Yeah, on Mondays, that's when we do the bookings.
Yeah.
So we see about 50 for the booking.
Yep.
Yeah. We do that full assessment on that first day, and then they come back for follow-up visits on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Okay.
And that's when we see almost 100 women every day, Tuesdays and
Wow.
Wednesdays. But we kind of want to limit the number we see at booking so we can do the thorough assessment.
Yeah.
So
Well, that makes
up
sense.
to 50 mothers on Mondays.
Yeah. And what about the age group of the mothers? Are they young or?
Most now is 20 to 30.
Okay.
Hardly see mothers, anyone above, like 34 or above 30.
So about 20 to 30. And what about
A lot of teenage now.
still a lot of teenage? Like what age? 14?
16, 15 now?
15? 16? Yeah. And what about the issues of, obviously religion's very strong here still. Family planning, are you getting family planning through, or is it still hard?
It's still hard, not many.